because I don't know, it's something like on my city. But normally in Honduras, at 5 o'clock p.m., it's like kind of dark. So you think like, oh, it's time to get dinner. So we just like, personally use like that weather to see like, oh, it's time for lunch or time for dinner, or no, I can keep working. So when I was here, it's like my first week, I was like, okay, I'm hungry. But I looked outside, I was like, no, it's the Friday, it's not time for dinner yet. So I kept waiting, and then I realized, oh, it's 8 o'clock. So that week, I never ate with my roommates because they already ate. I was like, I was eating one day, they said like, yeah, so you ate so late. Because I normally have dinner around 6 or 7 and they had it like at 5 sometimes. So that was kind of shocking to me. I know that it's not a big deal, but that first week when I was habituating myself here and trying to introduce myself and meet my roommates, that was like shocking. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, Hafiz.
Well, it's an auspicious moment for me to share the things that I experienced when I came to US. Just to give you an entertaining answer, I'd like to say that when I first landed at the airport, I needed to use the restroom, pure restroom. So when I approached the person who was working at the airport, and I asked him if I want to go to the toilet, and he told me, yeah, you see this sign? I said, no, I want to go to the toilet. This is restroom. I said, no, I want to go to the toilet. I don't want to go to the restroom. He said, yeah, there is the toilet. We call it a restroom. So that was the first encounter of me with Americans here. And that was, of course, shocking. The second thing I would like to say that is the open marketness of people here. Because when I was living here, I had still have in my mind that I may not be welcome much. Because what I will practice, what I wear, who I am. That was my concept. But when I came here, I found it very helpful that people invited me to dinners, to breakfast, to lunches, and on different occasions, and they welcomed me as if I were in my own country. Those good things, the positive things, were the shocking.
Thank you very much. Actually, before you begin, just a quick story on this scenario. I was in Vegas trying to pick them up. They were lost because there was a storm when they were coming in. And Aisha calls me and she says, we lost Hafiz again. Because Hafiz got lost twice on the flight. And so now we are trying to find where can Hafiz be? Because he was last seen in, where was it? Where Elvis.
Memphis?
Memphis. Last we heard about him, it was in Memphis. And then finally we found him in Vegas airport running around. So that was the story. And then Aisha, what was your experience?
I would say that it was like positive because before I was coming here, I was told like look, and I have this image that because of my scarf and the job would be, I might face some kind of hatred, but when I came here, the people were so nice and they were also welcoming, and I never felt like that, so I'm really grateful for this. And it was a really positive experience, like a positive culture shock for me, you can say, that it was, people were really nice.
Salman?
Okay. So for me, it was probably how easy it was to talk to people, because I'm sometimes very social awkward and it's very hard to make friends and stuff. But here, as soon as I came, in the first 2 days, I made friends and I was like, oh, this is our friend group that I'm gonna hang out with. But then I made another friend group and another friend group, and with like 4 or 5 of them, which I didn't expect to have, because it's very hard for me to talk to someone, but here, when you go out to someone, you can really have a full-fledged conversation very easily. So that was the most shocking part. I didn't expect that to be the case. So that was
And when I took Hafiz for his shopping, it was taking so long, and I think he was looking for pillows. Remember, was that the pillows in Walmart? He was kind of putting his face kind of standing against different kinds of pillars to see which one was most comfortable or something. But that was a long time. I told him I'm going to embarrass them on stage because that's the whole American thing. Amar.
Okay. Okay. So, as Sir Sharma said, I come from Indonesia. So, for your information, guys, Indonesia is located in is part of Asia, especially Southeastern Asia. So, the biggest culture shock that I have here is because in Indonesia, we do respect all older people, like our officer, our teacher. But one time, it was my first week here in my class. So I saw a girl, my classmate. He was questioning the professor while her leg, one of her leg is like this, and I was like, oh my god, this is impolite. In my country, it is that was impolite, but I saw my professor reaction, and it's normal, and I said, oh, this is one of the norm here, and that was really different compared to Indonesia because we have to, for example, if you attending a class, you have to dress well like this, and then you are not allowed to use like sandals or flip flop or sometimes, so you're not allowed to attend a class with that kind of dress. So that's a big culture shock for me.
And it's so important, and that's exactly what happened 20 years ago when I came in. You never call the professor by their name. It's always sir or madam. You can't eat in the classroom. That's very important. Because when I came to the school, I went to California Western School. And I was seeing the same thing happen to me. You eating food in the classroom and talking to the professor and someone lying down, something I'm like, okay, that is really awkward. But it does take a long time, and the professor keeps on telling you, call me by my name, and you can't, because that respect. Okay, what's something that you would like to take from here back home and bring something from back home over here? Go
Okay, I personally would like to say how people embrace diversity here. How they are trying to be so inclusive sometimes. Because, for example, here on campus, they have these, I can't remember what's the name, but they gave us like a talk about LGBTQ plus community. And I think that's really amazing. It's like, wow, they're teaching us, their knowledge is power, you know, and being aware about like, okay, uh, their preferences are different, I need to respect them, they respect me. And that's something that personally I don't have in my university. I mean, it's kind of taboo sometimes to talk about it. It's like they will not judge you, they will not punch you, but they are not bringing us knowledge, learn more about like, it's like that they have learned about two or three different like, um, I forgot the word, sorry, language barrier, other cultures, but yeah, I would like to bring like that, embracing of diversity to my country, because I think that when people learn, to respect each other, they grow, because we learn a lot, I mean, as an international student, I've been surrounded by other international students, and I've been learning like a lot about it. I learned so much about these guys, not talking about all of the other international students. So yeah, and something that I would like to bring here is the mood of the people. Because even though Americans are really chilly and not some people, I miss that Latin American flavor, you know. I'm from a Latin American country, and people is just like something so different. My roommate tends to say like, it's like you're always full of energy. Why are you like that? How are you like that? It's like, I don't know, everyone in my family is like that. All my friends are kind of like that. We're always moving or talking, and it's like, sorry, I know that he be like, I would talk with you, but it's like, that's how we are. And that's something that I would like to share with the others. You know? Sometimes, at first, my roommates were like so quiet, and I was like, why are they so shy? It was so awkward, be there trying to talk to them, and there was someone, oh yeah, I gotcha. Or in my class, there's a boy, and he always said like, oh yeah, I gotcha. And then I was like, no, if I ever had something there, and other people were talking. Till the professor came to the room, and I saw some shit, said, mom said, you'll stay quiet, because that's other difference. But, yeah, thanks.
Which means inclusion, acceptance, and respect for everyone. Yes.
To me, I would like to say there is a very subtle difference between welcoming someone and be good with him for a long time. I would like to say you welcome pretty well whenever you see a stranger or a foreign student or any person whom you have never met before. You welcome him great. But when it comes to being with him for a longer duration and trying to help him, I think this thing you lack. I'll just give you an example to make it very clear. For example, for instance, if I enter an elevator and I would see a person beside me in the elevator, and I have never met him before. If I am an American, I would say, "Oh, did you see that match last night?" You both don't know what each other, but you would ask him that question, and he may reply, "Yeah, I enjoyed the game." But after you leave the elevator, you are no longer friends. There is a very subtle difference that I want to make clear. I hope you would understand it.
A match means game.
Yeah.
Because in Pakistan, in sport, it's called a match between two opponents. Here it's called a game.
So that is the thing I would like to take from my country to implement and make it spread here. Because when it comes to longer terms, we are, I would say, better. Not better, we are much efficient in this respect. Because we are very hospitable. And once we have an interaction with someone, it usually lasts long, sometimes for good. But what one thing that I would like to take from here back to my country is, of course, the diversity, the approach to welcome someone, and I would say the helping hands you give to foreigners, to strangers, or to someone who is a tourist. Because I have been to Vegas, Los Angeles, and New York, and Buffalo to see Niagara Falls. I have been there, and on neither place I felt that I was being threatened or I need to be extra careful. And I prayed on the sidewalks, in the malls, on the stations, and I didn't feel anywhere that I am a bit uncomfortable here. This notion, this specific perspective that I experienced, I would like to take from here back to my country and try to teach others that it is not so what you see in the movies or on the social media.
On this point, I add back home in many countries this idea that when you are in the US, let's say from Pakistan, or from an Islamic country, you are second class citizen. And no matter how much I try to explain that, it's very difficult for people to accept because it's a, yes, you're an American citizen, but you'll never be an American. I was like, oh, try it. I was like, yes, I have the same rights as anyone else. But back home, there's this notion because in many Middle Eastern countries, you might spend 50 years over there, you're still a second class person. You're never a citizen. You just live there, you work there, and when you're done with your work, you leave. America accepts you, it brings you in, and that's why it's an So that's why there's no other country like this. So that's what I've experienced. I
No, I would like say the same thing that Hafiz and Toya have said. It's basically the equality and the independence you get over there, that you are not discriminated by your gender, your identity, and that's like a very good thing that I saw over there. You can do anything you want, and no one will judge you. And another thing I would like to take over there is like the education system over there. It's like the classroom classroom environments over here are like, you are just coming over there to learn, to get new experiences, and it does not matter if you are like, whatever level of knowledge that you have, and you're just there to learn. You're not there to like, over there, you're not there to like get scores, get marks, and just get good grades, compete with your fellow students, which is often the classroom environment in my country. Over here, even like yesterday, in one of my classes, the teacher was sitting with us students, and one of the students was teaching the class because they explored their own, they learned something, and then they were sharing with us. So this is something that I really like, and I would like to see this in my country as well. And something I would like to bring from my country, I think it would be food. I know that this is like a very basic answer, but I mean, I really miss the food over here, and I would like really love to eat all the food when I go back home.
So before we move to Sahan, as students, you need to know that we don't have FARPA in most parts of the world. In Pakistan, when you take an exam in the class or anything, everyone knows how good or bad you did. So you're embarrassed, but learn to live with it. Here, that information is not shared. That's why the environment is much more competitive back home. Sahan.
I want to agree with all of them because I feel really the same, inclusion, diversity, food, especially. And I want to touch on the diversity part because before coming here, I knew that was the case here, that we respected and had already established environment for that to grow. And so even in my essays, in my application to come here, I wrote that I want to learn that from here to get, because when you're in the country, you don't have that perspective, you just live there and you're like, how to solve this problem? You have no idea. Even I don't blame people who are in charge to change that because we need other perspectives. We need to learn, we need those skills to establish those rules, to teach people, educate people, and they don't know that. Many of them don't have resources to find that, to get that. And so I wrote in my essay that I want my main goal to come to US was that to learn those how people establish the environment here, how they protect it, and how they improve that. And then bring it to my country that to make people more tolerant toward people with different gender identities, races, even though we are good with that kind of, but especially with gender and sexuality, I wanted to improve that in my country. So I came here because of that. And being here, we realized that it's not as easy as it seemed. So you have a lot of cons against you, and you need to be very resilient to get that and improve your own country. And I would take from my country, probably I miss music from my country because when you are there, they have TV shows, my family watches every evening, there's the music always playing. And I never knew that I would miss that music, but I really do, and it has that cultural feeling that you belong somewhere, that music, and I would love to have that here, especially jazz music. We are like very big with jazz, and I would love that kind of cultural environment to exist here in the US.
Aman.
Okay. So one thing that I want to take from the USA back to the country is all of my professors, because I love them. So the reason is really simple, because in my country, no, I mean here in the USA, all of my professors, or we call it lectures in Indonesia, all of them really helpful, and they are so kind, friendly. They're really sometimes they reach out to me when I miss the class, and then in Indonesia, this is really different between the students and teacher or the educator. there is a huge gap. For example, in class, they are not allowed student to debate any opinion from the professor or the lecturer. And that was really, really, I think, really bad in education. Because here in USA, we discuss a lot in class. We discuss, for example, in my multiculturalism class, we discuss a lot of different things, and I really love it. Back in Indonesia, it's really different because there's a stigma. It's not just for me, but all of my classmates back in Indonesia, they say that lecture is God because we cannot debate them. We cannot. Their decision is final, and they don't stick to the schedule. For example, they have a class on Saturday. They just skip it and then change it into another day, which is really annoying for all students. And then this gate kind of frustrating to me because we have to be really, really polite to them, but they don't treat us like we treat them. And then I think this is one thing that I want to bring from USA to my country because I think it's really important if student and the educators, professor, lecturers can work hand in hand for the good quality, for the education quality, for the better of education. So and also one thing that I want to bring from my country to the USA is the hospitality. I am not saying that people here are not friendly, no, but we in Indonesia we have like another level of hospitality. You know, I think this is because we are part of Asia. You know, all of Asian countries really well known for their local hospitality. But believe me, if you guys go to Indonesia, you will feel you can see locals smile at you all the time, and even sometimes they won't take a picture with you, which is really strange. But believe me, they are really, really want to get to know to you better. And then, yeah, this is part of the hospitality.
What he's saying is very true. There's such a huge gap between the professors and the students. You're not supposed to question that, you're not supposed to have a discussion, because that's when I came to the US and I saw students talking to professors and discussing points and counterpoints, that concept was not there. And overall, it does impact the thought process of the students. You know, the goal of, especially now, information is out there. Anyone can access this information. The key is how do you process that information? Because the data is so much. And I think things are changing, but they're changing it still in very slow pace compared to the way the system is in the US. Much more flexibility. So now I'm going to ask them the last question so that we can have more time for Q&A. This question, and you can decide. I mean, I'm glad none of them had any really bad experience, so that's how I know because we are all connected. It's any problem they want me, so I'm the advisor. Any bad experience? So feel free to talk. And when they give that answer, please feel free to ask any counter questions on that. Any whatever.
Well,
In the US, bad experience.
yeah, yes. Personally, being honest with you guys, I haven't had any bad experience here because, like, at first, I will not lie to you guys. I want to be honest with you, I was scared. I was afraid, you know, because I think that social media has a big impact on what people think. And there's this image on, not on Latin America, the rest of the countries, like, at least I have talked with other ones, and they'll agree with me, that we as foreigners are afraid, you know, being here, because we have like, I was so scared. I remember my first day in the airport, I was shaking, because I was like there, I had my visa on my hand, And I was like, what if something happened? What if they don't believe me? What if they think that I don't know, I'm trying to hide something or that I'm trying to pass illegally? I was scared of that. I was scared of people to judge me or to treat me different because I'm different. I'm from a different culture. Physically, I'm different. I was scared of that. But when I was there, it was like the opposite. People here is so nice, and that's something that I really like about being here. So there was this point, I can't even remember when I stopped being afraid, and I started feeling so comfortable here. And I'm not lying. I know that he asked me for my experience, but I would like to share like a good experience. And it's something related to that Amal said, the professors. Because in Honduras, I studied computer science. So these careers are mostly for boys. You know, they have this stigma they are just for boys. So I'm lying to you, there was just only two girls in my classroom. We're 40 and there were like 38 boys and two girls. So even though my classmates were nice to me and they never looked me up. I had that stigma that I cannot be behind them. I need to prove that I can be here. Because, you know, some professors were like, what I said is true. You cannot deny this. And if you're a girl, you cannot deny it. You're supposed to go for class or stuff like that. They never said that directly to me. But I knew it. I had that feeling. And it's something that really marks you, you know, because I always was like, I need to get, like, I need to be at the same level of them. I need to be like one level above them and stuff like that. And I didn't ask that much questions. I don't know, because I was like, what if I ask and they think, oh, she's asking because she's dumb, or things like that. So I tried to study by myself. With the passing of time, I changed that line, you know, because my classmates, they're all pretty nice with me. But when I was here, and I saw the teachers, and they were like embracing you, they were helping you with everything, I started asking questions. They would start asking questions to me. So that's something that I really like here, the support that you have. That support that the first time I thought that I would not have here, I ended up having like, a lot of it. And that's pretty much all. Thanks.
You want to talk about that scam as well?
I would like to go about that.
No,
Seriously.
no.
So, I will begin this by asking you a question. For instance, you go to a national park here or a museum, but you don't have the reservation for it. And it allows people to enter only those people who have the reservation. What do you think they will do with you? Would they allow you to enter or not? Even if you try to buy the ticket right there, would they allow you? I guess they won't. That was the case that happened. When I was in LA, I was very fatigued at night. It was the night of Saturday, and I didn't know because that day I spent my that day in Universal Studios, and I saw people buying tickets right at that place. That was the thing I had in my mind that tomorrow I would like to go Disney, and I would, let's say, think because I was so free, and I didn't buy the reservation online. I used public transport and I made there. When I was at the ticket booth, I found that there were already people buy tickets there. And I approached the lady, she was standing at the very front of the line, and I asked her that I'm not going to buy the ticket or get my pass to enter the park, but I just want to talk to the lady who is working at the ticket booth. Can you please let me there? She said, no, that is my turn. I won't let you. But after her, there was another guy, and I talked to him, and he let me talk to her. And I talked to that lady. I explained the whole story to her. That I am coming from Pakistan and I'm studying in State University, State University, and that I didn't know that I would have to have resolution to make my way into the park. But she said, we don't care about it. We don't have a resolution, you can't go in. Had you guys been in my country, you might have been granted the permission to enter the bar without even buying a ticket. Because we are so hospitable. And we are, I would say, less stringent in our rules and regulations and a bit more flexible than people in the US. That was a really bad experience for me, and I didn't know what I should do. I had already spent 3 hours with it because you know it is Anaheim. It is Anaheim, and it's very far from the main downtown LA. So you can think of it how bad it had been for me. But that was a bad experience for me, and I would love to.
And I'll tell the other one. He got scammed for the most basic scam you can imagine. He was trying to sell his phone on marketplace, and then someone told him to go to Target or something, get the Amazon or something cards, and he transferred the money. After he transferred $500, and then he realized that he was in a scam situation, then he called me. And I was like, you should have called me before you were transferring. So, but luckily he got his money back. The bank decided to give his money back. So it may not have happened in the US, it may have been outside, that was, and then he came to me, he's like, I just felt so hurt. I was like, that's what happened when you use $500 for a scam, but then the bank was kind enough to give the money back. Yes, sir. That's what not only my point is that rules. Many things work here because there are strict rules. In our countries, we can play around with rules. That can be beneficial at that moment for him it was painful because he took a bus ride 3 hours to reach there. So that flexibility actually in the long run hurts the system. And so I'm kind of 50-50, so 90. So I should.
Before I share my bad experience, I would first like to talk about what Claudia said, that being a woman who's studying woman in technology, studying computer science, or any field, I would say, back in my country, it's always like you have to prove something. Like if you're a woman, people will believe in you that you can do something, and you have to be always like, oh, I have to prove them, and then you have to put it like up to 100%, while the rest of the people are putting their 100%, and it's like. When I was even coming here, so they were like, how can you go there? How can you go abroad alone and just go to America and travel alone and everything? But I find that over here it's really easy and it feels like all the support from everyone. Anyways, one of the bad experiences, I think that was probably the only bad experience. It wasn't like a big deal. So I was in a dollar store and I was just shopping and I was wearing a scarf. So this lady, she comes from behind me. She was with her kids and she was just telling